Hi, this is MJ, and today I'm working on this really nice textured infinity scarf. I use a crossover stitch here, and it's really easy to do and gives really cool texture to your scarf. So the yarns I'll be using is Sugar Bush Chill. So here's the solid, and then Chill 150 is fun variegated colors. So today I'll be working with Arctic Sky to show you how to make today's scarf. And Sugar Bush Chill is a super bulky weight number 6, and it's really, really thick on the real heavy side of a bulky weight 6. And if you want to check in the description box below, I'll have a link on how you can figure out proper yarn substitutions if you're substituting this yarn. But if you love this yarn, it's a 100% Merino, extra fine Merino, and I have kits available in my shop, and you'll need 3 balls to make one scarf, or approximately 156 yards. We'll be using a 16mm Q hook, and this is a Susan Bates hook, and you'll also need some scissors and a yarn needle. Okay, so to get started, let's make a slip knot, and we'll be working a foundation double crochet. I have a beginner video on how to do this, but I'll work it fairly slowly for you. So we're going to begin by chaining 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yarn over, turn your work here, and we're going to go through this, and also see that little loop there? Push your hook through that loop as well. And now pull up a loop. So now we have 3 loops on our hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through the first loop for your foundation chain. Then you're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, just like a regular double crochet. So now we'll yarn over. I have my finger here on that first chain, the foundation chain, and you can see these 2 loops here we want to go through. So push your hook through both of those loops, pull up a loop again, so we have 3 on the hook, yarn over, pull through 1, so there's our foundation, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. I like to put my finger on it just so I know for sure where I have to go in. You don't have to do that, it just helps a visual there so you can know exactly where to go. So go through that loop and the next. You got to make sure you're going through the 2. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, put my finger on there, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. I need to get a yarn bowl for this or it's going to keep bouncing around on us. Okay, so now 1, 2, 3, I've done 4, including that here. Well, I guess you count that one as 1, 2, 3, 4. So I want a total of 80 all together. So yarn over. Sorry, I'm getting a bit of a cold. Push through both of the loops, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first, hang on to that with your finger, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. And see, as you turn your work, you can see how nice the bottom of the scarf is going to look. Rather than chaining and doing double crochets, we're doing foundation double crochet, so we have a really nice edge, and it's going to match up with our edge when we finish off our scarf. So I am going to work up 80, and then I will meet you up again, and I'm going to grab a bowl for this. Okay, so I've worked my 80 foundation double crochets. I used sort of a stitch marker as I went and was counting. So if you want to go back and count to make sure, I'm just going to show you here. So my first stitch, you want to find your little V's. Here's my first stitch, and then just count all the way until you have 80. So the next thing you want to do is join. And you don't want it twisted. So just feed it through. And just make sure that you're joining it properly. Okay, so what you'll do is that first stitch here, push your hook through, grab your yarn and pull. So now this part here is, we will join up at the end. But don't worry about that right now. And did I twist it? You just want to make sure that you didn't twist before you get going. And we're going to start by chaining 2. And we're going to do a double crochet in this very first stitch. So our chain 2 is not counting as a stitch. Yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. And now we'll begin our cross stitch pattern. So we're going to skip this stitch and we'll work a double crochet in the next. And now we'll work a double crochet back into our skip stitch here. So yarn over, go down through the stitch, grabbing your yarn, pull up a loop. So you now have 3 on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And now we'll skip the next stitch and work a double crochet in the next. And then we'll work back into the skipped stitch. So go down, pulling up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. Skipping the next, and we're just repeating this all the way around. Okay, so we'll repeat doing this. We'll end here. We'll have a final stitch left when we come all the way around, which we'll double crochet into. But keep working around and I will meet you up when I get to the other side. Actually, I will end up running out, so when I run out, I'll meet you back up to show you how to attach your next ball. Okay, so I've come to the end of my first ball. So I'm going to use a thumb join to join my new yarn. So here's the yarn attached to my work. Here is the new yarn. Take your yarn between your fingers here. Add in your new yarn, and you want just your tails peeking up. Wrap the yarn around your thumb and then wrap it between your thumb and your tails. Just like that. And then tuck your tails down under your thumb, and then you're going to pull to make yourself your join. And then you can just keep going. So I am going to continue and I'll meet you before we join again. Okay, so I've worked all the way around and I have 1 stitch left. If you don't have 1 stitch left, then you've probably messed up somewhere along the way. So you're going to end with 1 double crochet. So we should have 80 stitches. And now we're going to slip stitch in the top of the very first double crochet we made, okay? So not into the chain, but into this stitch. So you go through it, grab your yarn and pull through. And let's just chain 2 to secure. Okay, so I'm just sort of laying the scarf out flat here. You can't see all the edges, but laying it out, and I'm going to measure it for you because Okay, this will give you a good idea sort of on the size we're looking at. So remember, this is folded in half and it's about 30. So the total would be 60 all the way around because we're getting about 30 inches. So if you decide that you're going to use a smaller hook and different yarn and you're trying to get your scarf the same size, you'll need to obviously chain more, but that's the size you're going with when you fold it in half, about 30 inches. So now this row is going to be a little bit different because I want to stagger these crisscross stitches. So if I were putting them on top of each other, I would do another double crochet and cross here again. But I want it to kind of go in between. So I'm going to skip that first stitch and I'll work a double crochet in the next. And then I'm going to work back into that stitch. And now we'll skip the next stitch and work a double crochet in the next. And we'll go back. So as you can see, my cross here is going in between these crosses from the row before. I couldn't find my yarn bowl, so I've put my ball into a basket here instead. Okay, so skipping the next stitch, go into the next, double crochet, work back into the skip stitch. So this is all we're doing all the way around. And now this time when we come around, we'll be ending in those last two stitches. There'll be no just double crochet. It'll be another cross. So I'm going to continue working around and I'll meet you on the other side. Okay, so here we go. I've worked all the way around. I have 2 stitches left, so that's an indicator that we've worked properly all the way around. So this will be your 79th and 80th. So yarn over, skip that stitch, work into the last stitch, and then work back into the skip stitch. And now we'll join to the top of the first double crochet. So go through the stitch, knot the chain, and pull through. And chain 2. And now this round will be a repeat of our second round. And this will be our last round that we do with the crossover stitches. So do a double crochet in that first stitch. Okay, so we're repeating that first round here I showed you. We skip the next and we work a double crochet in the next. And then we work back in the skip stitch. Skip the next stitch, work a double crochet in the next. And work back. Okay, and this is looking really pretty working up in this variegated yarn. But we'll just take a look, and as you can see, it looks like your stitches are going on the diagonal here. And then we'll finish off the scarf with a round of just double crochet so that it's matching our first round. So I'm just going to continue working all the way around. I'll be switching up my ball and I'll meet you on the other side. Okay, so I've worked all the way around and you should be ending with 1 stitch and a double crochet in that final stitch. Slip stitch into the top of that first double crochet to join. And chain 2. And now we'll just work 1 double crochet in every stitch around. Okay, so I'll continue working around and I'll meet you up on the other side. Okay, so I've worked all the way around. I just have one stitch remaining. And now we'll slip stitch into the first double crochet to join. And now we're going to fasten off. So I just have a bit of yarn left. And then you'll just pull your hook through. And you want your yarn needle for bulky yarn. And we're going to weave the yarn down through our join. And then you'll want to weave back in the opposite direction. Pull your scarf to make sure that you haven't distorted it. And then just trim your end. Now remember, I told you at the beginning we needed to join this section here. Sort of find where the top of that stitch is. And then you'll just want to weave this the same as we did the other end and weave back in the opposite direction. Trim your end. Okay, so now I'm going to add just a personalized tag, and I thought I would just show you how I do that. So I'm using a smaller needle and some embroidery thread. Then you just pick a location to attach your tag. Going right through both holes here. Then I'm going to go through the other hole. I'm going to go back down through, poking through the hole on the other side. And then I'm going to poke through this, and then I'm just going to knot my two ends together. And then I'm just going to weave these tails across before I trim them. Weave it through the yarn to the other side. And then I'm going to trim. So there, I've attached my tag. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please subscribe to our channel if you're interested in a copy of the PDF. It also includes a child and toddler size. I'll have the links in the description box, and also if you love this yarn, I will have kits available as well. Thanks and have an awesome day.